Thank you, Elia, for that introduction. My wife has been informed that the next 7 minutes is definitely no baby time.
Awesome.
So my name is John McEwen, and my company is SpeSo Health. SpeSo Health is revolutionizing care for patients with rare diseases. And if you take away one thing from my presentation today, I hope it's this. Rare diseases are not rare. Because when you aggregate across the over 6,000 known rare conditions, you're actually talking about 25 million patients in the US and another 65 million people in the rest of the world. So from now on, remember, rare diseases aren't a 1 in a million event. They infect 1 in 10 of us. These patients face incredibly unique and often crippling challenges to receiving the best care for their case. A rare disease patient will routinely spend between 2 and 5 years going from specialist to specialist, simply trying to find an expert who's seen their case before and a team that knows what to do. To put a name and a face to it, it's really challenging for Walt, a multiple myeloma patient from Nebraska, to find out about Dr. Ed Statmauer at Penn and his team of world-class experts. Now, hospitals face a different kind of challenge when it comes to rare diseases, and it's one that I first discovered when I was finishing my PhD in neuroscience at Penn. I'd taken on a little bit of extracurricular work in consulting for life science companies and was helping groups from the largest pharma companies in the world to some of the smallest, most agile biotechs. There was a striking transition that I noticed in the course of this work. Initially, maybe 1 in 10 of my projects related in some way to rare diseases. But by the time I was ready to graduate, 40% of my work was dedicated completely to rare diseases. Now, these clients were often asking the same questions over and over. Where are the centers of excellence? And who are the individuals who can provide the differentiated quality care that can not only lead groundbreaking research, but could help staff clinical trials? What I saw then, and what we've confirmed today with dozens of conversations, is that hospitals simply don't know what their rare disease expertise is. And that's a real shame, because not only is there a dire clinical need to making a better connection between patient and expert, there's a huge economic opportunity as well. Because while that rare multiple myeloma patient may only come in every so often, when they do, they reimburse at a large multiple of more common conditions. But currently, hospitals don't have a comprehensive sense of where their rare expertise lies, even within their own 4 walls. And so this opportunity gets missed. Worse, the traditional shotgun approach of marketing on billboards and buses simply doesn't work with rare patients. And so again, the opportunity is missed. Until today. SpeSo Health can instantly quantify the rare disease expertise of any hospital across thousands of conditions. Armed with that information, we can help craft a communication message that matches their expertise and communicate that message beyond their local market. Finally, with advanced features like online appointment scheduling and second opinions, we can truly globalize any hospital's rare disease expertise. The core of SpeSo Health is a free user search page where anyone can come and search for any of thousands of rare conditions and immediately see which hospitals have the largest teams in that disease, which are leading groundbreaking research and hosting clinical trials. Now, for hospitals, this same page represents a breakthrough set of new tools. Not only can hospitals communicate their excellence among their peers, but they can express interest in accepting new patients locally or nationally, and can even help patients schedule appointments online. So we at SpeSo Health, we see this vision of tens of millions of patients with rare diseases getting better care faster, and of hospitals benefiting in the process. So we set out to validate that with both customer groups. Fortunately, making the economic argument for hospitals was fairly easy. We've analyzed a lot of data, and we found a few serendipitous opportunities, real-world cases where single centers like this one would spend a small amount of money, in this case $20,000, for a digital marketing campaign, here for lung transplants. In this case, it netted 36 new appointments representing over $3 million of reimbursable opportunity. But at SpeSo Health, we say, why not aggregate this across thousands of conditions and make it an open opportunity for any hospital who's interested? Now, confirming that patients and their advocates were interested in this information was also easy. We ran a series of online tests, each of which had exciting results. A single 4-day Google AdWords campaign established that we can attract patients, in this case for CREST syndrome, at a fraction of the cost per click of more common diseases. And when they were there and given the opportunity to learn more about scheduling an appointment online, the conversion rate was astronomical. Even better, a single Facebook post and $0 of advertising spend, in this case for Noonan syndrome, brought almost 200 patients to the site, and while they were there, even though it was a basic, rudimentary prototype of SpeSo Health, they stayed there and learned about the ecosystem of expertise for their condition. They even filled out surveys, the responses of which confirm some of our core hypotheses. These patients are interested in finding those differentiated hospitals. They want to find out about emerging interventions as they appear, and they want to learn, and they want to be able to make second opinion online appointments, all of which are features that we can provide. So with this encouragement, we set out on a small strategic sales outreach program with a little over 100 hospitals. After a week, the response was so positive and compelling, we expanded our outreach to patient advocacy groups and biopharma companies, simply asking if this data is something that they would value and they would pay for. We're excited to say that after 4.5 weeks, we already have multiple cash-committed projects in progress, and we're in final negotiations with a dozen other hospitals, as well as a leading patient advocacy group and one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world. What's even better for us is our late-stage pipeline and our current customers are not only some of the largest organizations in the world, but also smaller, more specialized hospitals who still see the value in understanding where they can provide differentiated expertise in rare diseases. The economic opportunity for SpeSo Health is also exciting. This simple product of data that maps a rare disease expertise for a hospital represents a $100 million opportunity domestically. As we add advanced features, such as online appointment scheduling and second opinions, we tap into a $3 billion market just within domestic hospitals, to say nothing of international patients. Finally, as we build out additional products for our biopharma sector partners, we can tap into a $2.5 billion and rapidly growing market opportunity in rare diseases. So our ask to you today is twofold. One, if you've ever been affected by a rare disease, advocate for patients, or if you work at a hospital that has that expertise, we ask that you come to us and speak to us because we want to help. Secondly, contingent upon validation of our current sales outreach, we're going to be seeking to raise $1 million in the next 9 months, and we'd like to start those conversations today. Now, before I leave the stage, I just want to thank the best team of co-founders a guy could ask for. Raj Mahali and Marissa Brittenham and I all met in the healthcare management program at Wharton, but they bring invaluable expertise, not just in healthcare services and investing, but in patient advocacy and healthcare regulation. And they're the perfect complement to my own background as a repeat entrepreneur and scientist. Furthermore, we've amassed an incredible team. Each one of these people has taken a shoestring budget and a breakneck pace and created something incredible. And each one of them sees the vision. So my name again is John McEwen. We are SpeSo Health, and we want to change the world for the tens of millions of patients living with rare diseases. Thank you very much.